Next, on Wednesday the 17th, at the usual time, 6:30 at the water plant.
Albert,
Yes,
the 20,000 gallon leak, was that resolved?
yes,
Yes.
yeah,
And the water was shut off at that house?
yes.
And there's more houses?
We don't know.
Oh, you don't?
That was the
don't
third
know.
house, these ones either condemned or foreclosures that have been in limbo for 5 or 6 years now, thanks to Obama.
Yes, what happens is the house is abandoned and the house, maintenance is not there.
Right.
And a house over the course of the winter will freeze up and break and the water remains on and nobody's in there to check that there's damages or that there's even a leak.
Right.
So there's no way for the water district to know about it until somebody actually goes in and says, hey, somebody just called me about this house to fix it.
Exactly.
And it's been going on for probably 2-3 years, some of them.
Well, the one on Plank Road.
The one on Plank Road's been going on for a number of years.
The water was just going into the ground, there was no surface water.
Yeah.
In another location, maybe you'd have surface water, you'd be able to see it, but in that one, no. So, all right, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Let's see, there's stuff, water, museum, what's here?
Well,
Recreation, Marty.
On the museum,
Bill, yes. Yeah.
name is Bill Andrews, and Rusty there. I'm here because we, on the museum board, we can't understand why we can't get our signs up. We've been told that the signs were made to be put on 28 for over 2 years, but no signs.
That's not true.
Okay.
The signs, again, Eric is doing his best to get the signs around. They've been put up. We started with the welcome signs on some of the side roads. We still have the large signs. Again, you heard me talking about the kiosks. This is all part of the same grant. Kurt, as far as I know, has completed the signs such as the museum sign, the park signs. It's just timing for him between, we've got an opportunity right now to pave the roads, so he's out paving roads. When he gets done, when we get to the cooler season as we're heading into fall, those signs will be going up, but those signs have not been ready for 2 years. It's been a grant that's been open for more than 4 years, but then Irene put quite a hiatus on installation, and actually the artist who was creating the signs had medical issues for about a year. Those seem to be resolved, but those signs should be up shortly.
Thank you very much.
Marty, please, recreation.
Hi. Parks and Recs have been busy. Soccer has resumed at the Emerson Fields, and I have to tell you, because you would appreciate it, the system is working so well. The two groups using it work together, they resolve any conflicts and switches all on their own. They do email me to let me know, but that's going very smoothly. Thanks to the highway departments and dedicated volunteers, I think our parks look better than they have ever looked. They're really looking good. We had, as you well know, a very successful summer recreation program. I'm very proud of the fact that our town provides a 3-day-a-week, 6-week free camp to youth in the town. It's up at Bel-Air Lake. They do nifty things. They learn to swim. It's really a wonderful thing that we do, and it's because you provide for it, so thank you for that. As we mentioned earlier, Joyce, thank you, on Sunday, September 14th, that's this Sunday, it's making me a little nervous, at the Emerson Pavilion, we are going to have a fundraiser picnic. And the Emerson has really just gone so far out of their way to help us. I really hope the community comes out to support the event. Various community angels, including the Phoenicia and Fleischman's Rotary, it's Fleischman's Pine Hill, that's right. They're contributing anyway, they're in our town. And the Shandaken Youth Committee and a dozen generous individuals have donated funds to cover any costs. So that if you should buy a ticket to this event, every single cent goes to the Parks and Rec. Speaking of tickets, as you know, you guys all had a little packet of tickets. And I'm getting close to the time when I need to tell them how many we can expect to come. So I urge you, what happened with this event is we asked the town board to each, I don't know that we asked, we just sort of gave you each 10 tickets and said, please go out and sell these, and please come, please support us. And our board, which also has 5 members, is doing the same. And we have, frankly, a cap of 100, and I'm really hoping we can get close to 100 people there. The weather is supposed to be gorgeous. The pavilion is rarely available on weekends, so we're so lucky to have it. And if it's really nasty weather, although it's supposed to be gorgeous, we can move it inside to the cap. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And we adopted a little philosophy on that poster we made that says, our parks, our town, our responsibility. And I'm hoping folks will take that to heed and come out to this event, because I think it's going to be great. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Oh, how much is it? You may have noticed, that's the one thing that's not on the ticket. It tells you where, what time. The tickets are $30 each. And I think you'll find that you'll have a meal much more valuable than that, and a lot of good people to enjoy it with. Thanks. Oh. Other than contacting any of the town board, you can contact Joyce. She has tickets, and if I will be sort of tracking you guys down this week to try to get your numbers. But if anybody wants to see me, wants to call me, I'm in the book. I'm in Big Indian. I would love to sell you some tickets.
Thank you.
They had a recreation. I don't even know if it comes under this, but I noticed that Lady Brandon Company has those bicycles that they give out to people to use to ride around Phoenicia like that. And a lot of them take them down to the Mount Tremper Trail to go hiking, but they just leave the bikes around the road. And at some point, they're going to come up missing, or they're just
Noticing that, Marty, there's also, I'm going to say that there's a bike parking situation that's developing. That we should start looking into getting some bike racks
Yeah.
for these
Yeah.
people to use.
Yeah.
So at least they can feel a little bit more secure when they put their bike wherever they need to, and at least direct them where to put the bicycle instead of dropping them on the sidewalk or on the front fence of mystery spot.
Yeah, that's true intent. I didn't think about that. I'm just mostly thinking about the trail down there. 'Cause I see everybody rides and just leaves their bikes,
Thank you. With that, we'll move on to public comments and resolutions. No comments? You have a comment on a resolution?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We'll move on to the resolutions. Every month. Every month.
Oh, I forget.
I know.
Resolution 10614, resolution to pay all bills. Whereas the Department of Audit and Control require town boards to sign and inspect all vouchers coming into the town for payment to number and total amounts for each fund. Therefore, it be resolved that the town board authorize the following vouchers paid. General, $43,190.50. Highway, $23,240.85. Phoenicia Water, $4,159. Pine Hill Water, $197.50. Phoenicia Lights, $845.60. Chichester Lights, $128.48. Pine Hill Lights, $500.84. And I move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Higley?
Yes.
Board Member Malloy?
Yes.
Board Member Storms?
Yes.
Supervisor Sam?
Yes. Resolution 10714, resolution to authorize supervisor to sign a one-year extension for Smart Growth Grant. Whereas the town of Shandaken has been awarded a Smart Growth Grant through the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. And whereas the town of Shandaken has started working through this grant, including pavilion repairs at Glenbrook Park, new town-wide welcome signage and informational kiosks. And whereas the town of Shandaken anticipates this work to continue over the next year, therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Shandaken hereby authorizes the supervisor to sign an agreement extending the grant period for an additional one-year period and move its adoption.
I'll second.
Board Member Higley?
Yes.
Board Member Malloy?
Yes.
Board Member Storms?
Yes.
Supervisor Sam?
Yes.
Resolution 108-14, resolution appointing Parks and Rec Board member. Whereas pursuant to Section 20 of Town Law, it is the duty of the Town Board to appoint all board and commissions. Therefore, be it resolved that Kathy Williams be appointed Glenbrook Park Manager for the term to end December 31st, 2016, and shall serve without compensation at the pleasure of the Town Board.
I'll second.
Board Member Higley?
Yes.
Board Member Malloy?
Yes.
Board Member Storm?
Yes.
Supervisor Sam?
Yes.
Resolution 109-14, Town Police Department Part-Time Officer. Whereas the town of Shandaken is a town of the second class, and whereas there is a town police department, therefore be it resolved that pursuant to the town law of the state of New York, section 21B, the town board hereby appoints the following individuals as police officers to receive compensation as indicated. William Shaw, 19.17 cents per hour. Ralph Leader, 19.17 cents per hour. Paul Rosa Jr., 19.17 cents per hour. John Van de Doren, 19.7 cents per hour, 17 cents per hour. And that said, police officers shall have all powers conferred upon police officers by the general laws of the state of New York, including but not limited to, and such powers not inconsistent with law as are hereinafter set forth, and that said police officers shall have all powers designated in section 2.20 of the criminal procedure law of the state of New York, and shall have the following special duties. 1, to enforce all local laws, ordinances, and regulations of the town of Shandaken. 2, to enforce the vehicle and traffic law of the state of New York to the extent that police officers may be so permitted by the general laws of the state of New York. 3, to enforce such penal statutes as police officers are permitted to enforce pursuant to the general laws of the state of New York, and in furtherance of said special duties, police officers are hereby authorized the use of a town vehicle to be known as a police officer's vehicle, which may be equipped with emergency lights in accordance with applicable sections of the vehicle and traffic law, and may use the state and county radio to the extent permitted by the general laws of the state of New York, and may carry firearms while on duty in compliance with the general laws in the state of New York pertaining to the police officers generally. I move its adoption.
I'll second that.
Board Member Higley?
Yes.
Board Member Malloy?
Yes.
Board Member Storm?
Yes.
Supervisor Sam?
Yes.
Resolution 110-14, Police Commission. Whereas pursuant to Section 20 of the town law, it is the duty of the town board to appoint all boards and commissions. Therefore, be resolved that James W. McGrath be appointed to the Shandaken Police Commissioner for the remainder of the year 2014, and I move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Higley?
Yes.
Board Member Malloy?
Yes.
Board Member Storm?
Yes.
Supervisor Sam?
Yes. Resolution 111-14, hiring ambulance personnel. Whereas under Section 20 of the town law, the town board shall designate all appointed officers and employees of the town. Therefore, be it resolved that the following be appointed to the Shandaken Town Ambulance, part-time driver, $4.33 an hour, and $26.54 per trip, Alicia Schnack, and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Higley?
Yes.
Board Member Malloy?
Yes.
Board Member Storm?
Yes.
Supervisor Sam?
Yes.
Resolution 112-14, accept confidential secretary resignation. Whereas Diane O'Donnell has submitted her resignation letter to the town of Shandaken for her position with the town of Shandaken Supervisor's confidential secretary. And whereas the town would like to advertise for the opening of a confidential secretary. Therefore, be it resolved, the town board of Shandaken hereby accept Diane O'Donnell's resignation from the town of Shandaken Supervisor's office, and the town will immediately advertise for the vacant position. Full-time, 35 hours a week, at $10.55 an hour, and move its adoption.
I'll second that.
Board Member Higley?
Yes.
Board Member Malloy?
Yes.
Board Member Storm?
Yes.
Supervisor Sam?
Yes.
Resolution 113-14, resolution requesting no campaign signage until after Columbus Day, which is October 13, 2014. Whereas the town of Shandaken recognizes the importance of preserving its natural beauty and viewscapes throughout the town, and whereas Columbus Day weekend is recognized as a highly desirable time for visitors to travel to our area and enjoy the pristine beauty of Shandaken. Therefore, the town board of Shandaken requests that campaign signs for the general election, regardless of party affiliation or contest, not be displayed until after Columbus Day, October 15th, 2014. I move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Higley?
Yes.
Board Member Moore?
Yes.
Board Member Storms?
Yes.
Supervisor Sam?
Yes.
Resolution 11414, set public hearing on Pine Hill zoning change. Whereas the town of Shandaken needs to conduct a public hearing on a proposed zoning change for Main Street, Pine Hill. Therefore, it be resolved that the town of Shandaken Town Board will conduct a public hearing at 6:30 PM on Monday, October 6th, 2014, to hear all for or against said zoning change. And I move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Higley?
Yes.
Board Member Moore?
Yes.
Board Member Storms?
Yes.
Supervisor Sam?
Yes. With that, we will move to open public comment. Rick.
Couple things. The library is moving soon, right? I've been hearing this for quite a while. And actually, the building that they're in, the bylaws, I think it says that you have to have a doctor in there. Have you guys been looking for a doctor to move in there?
We've had several people inquire, and actually myself and Captain Mullerley have been discussing options for the town to possibly, Chief, I'm sorry? Really? Don't involve you in this?
And what is the outcome of this?
Nothing right now, Rick. Again, we're waiting for the library to move out, and they're not gonna move out until the middle of winter. We don't have a doctor's office that's magically going to appear after they vacated the building, and it was vacant for a number of months. But yes, the town will be pursuing options.
Slow down. I can't,
The town will be pursuing options
okay.
to see about providing some sort of health care service
All right. what
or
about-
health assistance through that building.
Okay, but it, you know, it is in the bylaws that a doctor.
Well, it's not in the bylaws, it's in the deed
Deed.
restriction
Yeah.
for the town.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also the shark, what's going on with the shark?
You asked every, I don't know what else to tell you, it's the same story I'm gonna tell you. I said it, what, 3 months in a row, 4 months?
Well,
I do.
Buffy doesn't work there anymore. There is no full-time staff. If you are interested in a loan or activity with Sharp,
I don't
contact Rich Lovelace.
I don't know.
So then what is?
I wanna know if people are paying back their loans that they took out,
Yes.
because we shouldn't have any,
Yes,
anybody
just
that.
because there is not a full-time office staff there, the checks are still coming.
Oh, okay.
I do have a question about that actually myself.
Yes.
That building, is it just standing, not being used?
Correct.
So,
They're storing their documents in there right now.
so can it be rented out to somebody else?
Well, the fire company rents an office there.
But I mean, that's half of it, right?
Yeah.
So couldn't the other half be rented?
And then we need to find space for
Yeah,
all of
there's a lot of-
Sharp's records.
Not a
Well,
doctor.
that would be not a big,
Yeah,
That's a big deal. Ask the lady sitting next to you about storage of records and where we have spaces in this town hall. We have no place to go in this town hall.
Wow.
We've got records upstairs that are just stacked up.
Well, after 7 years,
but
Vernon,
it seems to me that we
Yeah,
could
there should
find
be
a
a-
space and we could be using that as a
Yeah,
rental
yeah,
income
yeah.
producing,
We can-
space for the town.
More than certainly, you can look into it.
I'm sorry. You know, I was also thinking too, we were talking about, you know, with the meeting that we had at the parish hall with the flood and with response teams, and maybe we could use something with that, or?
That's in the floodplain as far as I'm.
Oh, okay, so you don't even, yeah.
Yeah, that, again, that's our
Or
difficulty.
even where the library is now.
Yeah, the second floor. could
Because
be
that would be
storage.
part medical then.
Well, again, that's
Yeah.
what we've discussed
Okay. All
with
right.
New York Rising and everything is about putting emergency response in that
Yeah.
building.
what is in the floodplain now? What
The Sharp
building?
The shark building is in the floodplain now.
The sharks, the
Owned
shark.
by the town, that building?
I'm not sure if it's owned by the
think it's
town.
owned
I
by
think it's owned by
Sharp.
Sharp Committee itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is,
I think they determine what happens with.
somebody's gotta check into this, find out.
We
what's going on.
don't operate, all our involvement, the town's involvement is only with the Shandaken revolving loan fund. That Sharp is managing for us. That's the only aspect we have. And Buffy is continuing working the revolving loan fund for us because she's paid by the proceeds that come out of that fund itself. That's through because it was started by a HUD grant. The town doesn't pay for her to do it. It works through the grant on access and activity within the grant itself.
And that's all in place?
It's all in place.
Perfect.
Again, if you want, we can talk about you.
Okay.
Find out. Again, I always say go to the source. Yes, Cal?
The Catskill Lark in the Park, which started in 2004 with the centennial of the Catskill Park, is being held again this year, the 10th annual, and it starts before the next town board meeting, so it'll be October 4th through the 13th, and there are currently events being submitted. There are events on the website, catskillslark.org. So there'll be people coming in for those events, and encourage people to go there and find hiking, recreation, art, educational events, historic activities. It's usually a fun time. And so if people have events, they should submit them. That's closing soon. And then everybody join in October. Also, sometime this fall, maybe September, October, we're not sure, it looks like we may be having a groundbreaking for the Catskill Interpretive Center. And people may notice that there's starting to be activity at the site. We are renovating and expanding some of the nature trails that have been present at the Interpretive Center site on 28 and Mount Trumper. And they're planning for additional trails and landscaping in addition to the building, which will probably be built next spring.
I'm glad you brought that up. Again, it's several points. Know that we are trying to do a getaway giveaway weekend in conjunction with the Central Catskill Chamber for Columbus Day weekend. So what we're looking for is anybody that has an event planned around Columbus Day weekend, like Thursday to the Monday, please notify the town so we can do some cross-promotional activities. Again, we may not ask you for money. If you can contribute, that'd be great, but if you've got an event that weekend or planning an event, let us know, and we will put it on promotional materials out. Again, the idea being that we're trying to promote everything there is to do in the area when you come up, because not everybody is going to go to the Bel Air Fall Festival. We recognize that. And even if they do, maybe they'll go there for an hour, 2 hours, or a day. There's other events that can be benefited by this and attracting people. Secondly, on the note of the Interpretive Center groundbreaking, I'd also like to state that at our meeting on Friday with the Catskill Collaborative, Brett Barry exposed, if you will, his new audio driving tour of Route 28, which is to go congruent with what we hope will be a successful application for the scenic byway for Route 28. Basically, the drive tour starts at 375 and 28. You start playing the audio file, and it will carry you all the way through Andes. And as you drive along, it will note all the significant areas, things to do. And actually, it's quite charming in that they have interviews from local residents. I know Joe Munster is on there, Harry Jameson is on there, Mike Chiaffi from the Phoenician Diner, trying to think of other names of people, George Ballantyne up in Andes, Bill Rudge with the DEC talks about the forest preserve, Diane Galusha discusses the importance of the watershed in the area as you're driving past the reservoir. So it's just nice, and you get to hear some funny stories about, I don't want to surprise you, but Joe Munster apparently bought his house for his dog. So I don't want to get into it, but if you go to Drive 28, drive28.com, you will find a website. You plug in your email address, and they will, for free, send you the audio file for you to listen to the stories, see what you think of it, give the input to the Catskill Collaborative. And from what I understand, the collaborative is looking at creating CDs that will be handed out for free at the groundbreaking ceremony for the Interpretive Center.
Right, so where do we put that? On our Facebook page, they get the link right from there.
Okay.
It's really good, it's about an hour long.
Yeah, it's an hour
And
and
it's very
five.
interesting learning all about how they made the reservoir and the tunnels and the history of that, and then they get on, like you said, they move up the whole corridor and give a little historical, and it's very interesting.
Sadly, if you play it in reverse, it doesn't go from Andes to 375, it just says Paul is dead. No, just kidding. I don't want to hear anybody go, it does! No. But anyway, Mrs. Rice, yes.
Shandaken Day was wonderful, but I want to personally thank Alfie and Timmy. Without you guys, logistically, it would have been a nightmare. And I want to also thank Patty Hines, because I would have never been able to do the staff stand by myself on Shandaken Day. We just had so many people, so.
Recognizing a lot of, well, LASCO allowing us to use the property, again, there's a lot of people we thank, but I just wanted to point out that you, your husband, and your son was there laying out the field with me the day before, and bored to tears. Your husband wanted to get up and dance and boogie-woogie with the band, and he was sitting there helping with the parking, so I just, again, kudos to you guys. Any other?
Rob, I got one comment. I talked to people from the Catskill Mountain Railroad. Kingston Plaza this weekend was a major success for Thomas the Train. Drew thousands and thousands of people to the Kingston Plaza. Just wanted to make a comment about that.
Is there any chance we could get that event in Phoenicia?
I'd love to have that in Phoenicia.
It was a big hit in Oregon.
It was a big hit in Arkville a few years back.
Yep.
I'd love to have that in Phoenicia. We got to talk to some of the members, see, we don't know what's going on with the railroad. We don't know where their head's at right now.
It's in the county's hands.
Yeah.
I'd like to personally thank all the businesses that gave donations to Shandaken Day that I got and other board members received and brought them to the Shandaken Day so they could do a lot of great prizes and giveaways. And a lot of those businesses need to be thanked.
Yeah, no, again, we thank them. And the way they package too, again, not to single anybody out, but Cliff Rebufo, you better invite me to this barbecue from the full moon, that's all I gotta say. He gets a catered party for Ted at his home, barbecue food from the full moon.